Look, Britt. Again, I haven't checked my notes. I don't know what political affiliation you are, what political party you are in, and I can't remember. I'm sorry. Uh, Thank you for taking this call. Um, I get it. I'm from the United States. I'm only familiar with conservative and liberal. I am actually educated in multi-party systems and could probably lecture on that, but um, you know, the issue I have is, uh, you know, I understand where you're coming from. Your population is 6 million people. The United States is 300 million people. To take them on would be really tough. I still don't think that it's enough. I kept it. I still don't think that it's enough evidence between Trumpsy and this. I know what you want to do. You want to take the United States as a class action suit for the children of Denmark. I agree. If we could do it, I would do it. But you got Trump going into office. He's slick Willie there, and they're going to just laugh us out of the thing. That's why I proposed the class action suit with the Danish business. But I understand you don't trust Americans. I get it, but I'm here to help, and if I just wanted to get behind closed doors and pitch this publicity stunt. It's not the Brad Pitt one. It's totally different, and it's for women of Denmark. But I understand you don't trust Americans, but then I'm talking to your populace, and they feel like the United States is Big Brother, and they're your ally. So I get confused. Maybe that's a little bit of the past multi-party system still alive and varying opinions, and that's fine because I heard two. I heard Big Brother and Ally. They're kind of dated, but whatever. So, you know, uh, when I called Trumpsy out, I've basically said, I'm trying to get some shit done in the United States, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's like, Trump, you made your fortune like 9 times off of real estate. So what do you care about the stock market? You care about the real estate market, right? You're a real estate guy, just like I was talking about. So, let us do it. Check out your legislatures and your political leaders, like I said, and then let us investigate these people that operate not on actual affixed properties and stuff. I don't see why he wouldn't be behind that. But anyway, I just want to tell you a story, Britt, because I'm here to help all of these political people, and I think I'm knowledgeable enough to split off, or I'm happy to meet with all of you and just on a committee or whatever. But what I want to talk about, and part of the reason I come from, probably where I come from, is I remember a long time ago, 5 years ago, CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. They're highly involved in technology and robots and all kinds of bullcrap like that. There was a offshoot I read somewhere of some computer scientists or whatever technology people. Sorry, I get a little fired up. They're coming up with these special chips for the retail industry, little RID chips, or I forget, radio chips, and they're going to try to like sell it to retail companies and these corporations that provide food and products for everyone, right? They're going to hide them in the packaging so that then they can sell it to the marketing, sell it to these big retail chains. So, so that they could track exactly every customer's transaction, and who knows how that's tied to credit cards and stuff I was talking about earlier. If you're paying attention, I can go into. It has to do with the razor thing, right? Now, no, I'm not even going to go into that because then it gets complicated and it's hard to explain to your constituents. So this was multiple years ago. They were developing these tiny chips to track all transactions. I'm in a homeless shelter here in Alberg watching TV on mute, and I can gather, it's muted, but I can gather the news segment that's being shown, and it's about these little conical looking, almost like a smoke detector, but longer, elongated and conical looking units in the ceilings of your retail stores here in Europe that some of them are experimenting with, that shoot these frickin' radio waves out everywhere and track these chips and stuff, or monitor shopping traffic or something. I don't know what was going on, but that's what I'm seeing. And to me, it blows my mind because, as I said, I'm familiar with liberal and conservative viewpoints, and I make the argument that I'm, kind of both, and it's whatever. But so to me, I look at the liberal viewpoint, and they kind of lean towards saying, "Well, I have faith in humanity. Why can't we just do retail sales the way we've always done it, and just hope that we chalk up that a certain amount is going to be stolen, but you'll still make a profit by large margin." So then it says to me, so is it the conservatives that are like all about loss prevention, and we have to come up with better ways to have loss prevention, and we need to track every single little product in the thing if we can make it cheaply, if we can make tiny microchips and do this, like we want to do this stuff? Because to me that's not a conservative perspective at all. I would say conservatives kind of want to preserve the way things were, so they would say we'll pay a security guard and maybe they put video cameras up there anyway, but even with the chips they're still going to keep video cameras because they want to watch the retail workers to make sure they're not frickin' stealing, because they're paranoid. A lot of conservatives are basically paranoid schizophrenics, and they want to label people like me and put me away, and they're penny pinching and acting like that. But I'm sorry, I'm going off on Trump's, I'm going off on the conservatives, but I just don't understand the logic to how this is happening. So somebody's got to step up and say we don't want that. But either way, Britt, the reason I bring this up and the reason I'm saying this, and again, I don't know if this can help your argument. I don't think we can take the United States or George Lucas to a class action suit, but I'll try. But I think a more concise and quick way is to go my route first, or, I know nobody wants to go first. That's another deadlock with Europe or whatever, and you're literally talking about one hotel room for one guy just to kind of meander about, or just, or just hearing a pitch, some lawyers hearing a pitch. Anyway, I did save this, and the point I want to make about these tiny little microchips and all this crap is, again, I want to point out that you can correct me, but I believe this is the accepted recycling program by Denmark. We have our Yoda head and our Star Wars, and then this is a barcode. So what I would say, because I can already hear the frickin' arguments in the United States. Slick Willie is trying to argue away. So what I would say is, I don't know how those recycling machines work, but to me, if you were designing a system like that, it would be, rather than having to read the whole barcode, it would be extremely easy to just put one bar in here that activates the machine and accepts the recycling, right? Because there's kind of a flaw in this labeling because of the design of the bottle, where the label starts to blow out after a while. So that would be a no-brainer for me if I was in your recycling. If I was in your government, your recycling, anything, you pop one number, one barcode in there. If that's the argument they're going to go with, is that reads barcodes. If it reads, because it rolls the thing, so I'm not sure if it reads the contour of the bottle or what the situation is, but either way, as you can see, when I did that, the cap actually was heavy enough that it threw it off balance. Now to me, from a design perspective, you could have made the cap lighter, you could have made the bottom of this bottle heavier with plastic, or because if the cap of that is that heavy, what is the point of recycling this amount of plastic when that cap has about the same amount of weight of plastic in it? So you're supposed to discard the same amount of weight of plastic to recycle this part of plastic. So it all comes back. I just don't get the logic. I don't get the reasoning. I think it's bogus, and I think this is a bullcrap situation. If Georgie Porgy wants to talk to me, he can fly his Millennium Falcon over here with his lightsaber or whatever, because that guy is responsible for, you know, I don't know how many metric tons of plastic being shipped into this country. So, um, you know, uh, you should probably make sure that the few units that do get recycled uh, actually pass, up to code and can work. That would be the political analyst's perspective, I guess, but not really. It's just an average American's perspective. But I'm going to pause just briefly. I think I'm done, but I'm not done at all, because I just looked down at this thing. I haven't noticed this on other bottles with the barcode that read the barcode, but this plastic thing, this recycling symbol is holographic. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? That's holographic. It has a P. This whole thing, these dots are what's probably red. That was clearly exposed. This is a holographic news seal from the government. I can tear apart. I'm not going into the Danish government, Britt, but come on, man. It's frustrating, and I do want to light into the Danish government big time, because I can tell you exactly how the United States is infiltrating and manipulating your government and your future generations of people, and to me it's sad. But if nobody wants to hear me out, I don't know what to do. I have a short film that I'm trying to make, and it involves leaving from here and going to Copenhagen and documenting some of the stuff I observed there. And I'd love to say that the mothers of the United States would stand up to George Lucas and try to fight for Danish kids. I'm just not that widespread, and I guess I'm just, I'm not a parent, so I don't qualify to try to rally those type of people. But there's like it's frustrating. So I don't know, George. I'm still waiting on Emma's paperwork, so if you can help me with that, I'd like to meet her, and I know she cares. So to Hollywood, California has gotten a tax revenue from the entertainment industry for a long time to create the type of culture, to create the most solid EPA funding and EPA standards of the entire United States, and a culture where a larger portion of the population is still not the majority of California, but there's probably a 30 or 40% of the population feels it's important to be responsible to the environment. And to that, it's great, but at the same time, if you're not going to support people like me that'll go out and keep that industry accountable, that's unfortunate. But I'll drink my fermented grapes to George, and I'd rather have a glass of wild turkey with you.